Hey everybody, Goosebumps for Dummies here, back again with another video, and today we're going to be talking about universally hated Goosebumps books. Now these are books that, across the Goosebumps fanbase, are usually frowned upon, or most fans just generally have a negative opinion about, or don't rather like. A lot of these are gonna be probably mixed for some of you, because I'm sure there is a fan base for each book. I know people who like some of these books, or don't think they're that bad. And I personally know myself, I think some of these books are actually really good. But this is just, we're gonna have my opinion, just vaguely mentioned for each one. And you can leave your opinions below, I want to hear them. So, yeah, if you think a book is really good, tell me below, I like to hear it. We'll be mentioning opinions, but these are books just generally, usually, just not liked by Goosebumps fans. Across the spectrum. Yeah, so universally hated Goosebumps books. Many people don't like this. A big majority of the fan base. So I'd like to see what ones you guys like. Or if you think all of these are pretty good reasons to be disliked. And yeah, let's just dig in. And all of these are just anything. There's no criteria for this. Starting off with one of the more recent, actually the recentest book in this list. And it's actually Weird Al Halloween. Yeah, a lot of the modern books aren't very hated. It's either love it or hate it, or love it and then, dislike it, but there's usually a couple fans. That's not really hated, universally books, but there are a couple, like Weird Al Halloween, like I said. This one is just fucking demolished by fans. There are, no people that like this one. I am yet to meet anybody who thinks positively of this book in the slightest. And I am not one of those, so yeah, I don't like this book personally. I think Bim, the guy on the cover, is horrible. Horrible characters. A lot of really gross scenes. There's a mechanic with Bim that just feels uncomfortable to read about. There's a lot of things about him that are uncomfortable. Not to mention the story itself is really bland. And whilst I think books like Final 60 Pages are really good, it's just not a great story. Yeah, I get why this one's hated. It's just one of those books that nobody really likes. Next up, we have an OG series, Legend of the Lost Legend. I hear basically no positivity, okay? And personally, I don't think it's that bad. I'm one of those people who go, yeah, it's alright. One of those rare people, to say the least. I think I've heard one person say it's not that bad. And they don't even really like it, to begin with. Yeah, Legend of the Lost Legend ain't a very good book in my eyes, but it's, not terrible. This one is usually shout on for it just being really random. It's one of the more random Goosebumps books, and just not generally being a great story with a terrible twist. Yeah, I kind of get it. Another one from the OG series, we have Bad Hair Day. Now this one isn't very popular in terms of being read, probably because it hasn't been reprinted in a while. The last reprint was from 2000 and something. It was part of the 2003-2008 reprint run. Made a video about that a couple months ago, I think in April. Check that out. Yeah, I kind of get why, and I personally think it's really good. It's not that bad at all, but I get why people don't like this one. It's one of those very weird ones, and when people do come to reading it, which aren't many, it's usually not positive for pretty clear reasons. It's just a really weird book, and yeah, I can agree it's really weird, but I liked it for that. This next one I see absolutely no positivity for. Night in Werewolf Woods. And this is actually the only one here that I have not read. I have not read Night in Werewolf Woods. I'm saving this one for one of my last UIG reads. Or one of my later ones, at least. Yeah, this one I see so much negativity for. And just from what I've heard, it sounds about right. The storylines both sound really bad. And, yeah, it's usually at the bottom of people's rankings. The reviews aren't great. And yeah, this one just generally is the least favorite GYG when it comes to the GYG series. This is the only GYG on the list, because, they're love it or hate it books. Next up, we have Be Afraid, Be Very Afraid. Now, this is one that I really like, but I completely understand. Be Afraid, Be Very Afraid is so hated because of those final 10 chapters. Everybody that I have talked to usually just hates this book. I met to meet one person that I can remember that actually likes this book, besides me. So yeah, but Staring in a Mirror doesn't count. This book is just really hated for those final 10 chapters, And yeah, I get why they're really experimental and strange for Goosebumps. Even for Goosebumps, they go in a GYG-like direction where it's really just out there and random. It doesn't feel in place, the book. And yeah, this book is literally just Jumanji in Goosebumps, so kind of get that too. Next up, we have Welcome to Camp Sliver, another modern, the only other one. Camp Sliver, this one is really hated for just being not a great story. I don't hear a lot of specifics, it's just not a good story. And this is one where I go, it's not that bad, but I don't really like it at the end of the day. Camp Sliver is just okay, I guess. I do like the villain of the book a lot, but he is not very great here. This one is just not like being a great story, or even good. If you want this in way shorter format, watch the Teacher's Pet episode. That's basically this book. Chicken. Oh boy, here we are. Chicken, motherfucking chicken. Guess what's for dinner, kids? Chicken! Oh my god, this book is so hated. This is the community's punching bag, as I like to call it. The community absolutely hates this book, and this is one of those ones where it's like, sometimes people do really like it. I know someone who gives it a 5 out of 5. I actually don't believe that, but there's someone who actually gives it a 5 out of 5. And, yeah, this book is just hated because, well, what do you think? Chicken. The book is really dumb. Like, really dumb. And if you can get past that or kind of enjoy that, you'll have a good time. But yeah, this is the community's least favorite book. And I have a feeling it's probably because, no offense to the guy, but Aussie Fan kind of popularized the hatred for this book. Because his OG series ranking is one of the most iconic Goosebumps videos on YouTube. And like, everybody knows he gives this book a 5 out of 10. Actually, it's my exact rating anyways, but I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's good either. And I saved the best for last. This is one I'm yet to review because I want to save this one from one of my last reviews from Series 2000 because it's one of the most shocking ones. And that is Return to Ghost Camp. I hear nothing but dog shit. I sometimes hear people go, yeah, it was kind of cool, but it's not Ghost Camp. And that is the main complaint for this book. A lot of people really don't like this one. I mean, a lot. Everybody who has read it, I mean. I don't like it because it's not really a Ghost Camp sequel. And you know what? I can get that at the end of the day. It's not Ghost Camp. You know, you really like your Ghost Camp. I think it's a really good book. Even though it's overrated, I do think Ghost Camp is a really good book. But the sequel, I think it's actually much better than the original Ghost Camp. I don't want to open up too much yet because I want to wait for my review to come out, but yeah, I think this improves upon the first Ghost Camp in many ways, especially in its villain. Yeah, this is a highly slept on one, but I completely get the, disliking, because it's not really a Ghost Camp sequel, which is the usual argument, as well as, people just don't generally like this one for its story and stuff, which is fair. Can't change that. So yeah, one of the more hated 90s books, I feel, universally at least. And yeah, that is my picks for the most universally hated Goosebumps books. These are just books where a lot of people don't really like them. Whether you understand it or not, it is pretty undeniable. Just look at the reviews, man. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Tell me what you think of these books below. Do you love them? Or do you also hate them like many? And we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.